The 1% Club.
All right, guys. Yeah, again, like I said, it's February 26th. We're back live tonight. I know we preach every week about Top Secret, and guys, we're doing Top Secret. We're kicking it off. Club members, again, we appreciate you, club members. You can make sure to get reserve yours today. You can do it in 4 payments, or you can do it in 1 payment. You can click it and pay it $25 a month over 4 months, and you can have it shipped. If you say now, Mike, you can have it shipped August or have it September, right before your hunting season starts, wherever you're at. So, guys, we're going to take a few Facebook questions tonight. Let's see, Mike. Let's see, where are we at here?
Jeremy Kastner, Louisville, Kentucky.
All right, Jeremy says, if you find a line of rubs, is it safe to say it's his perimeter or bedroom? What you think, Mike?
I would first think what time of the year it is if I'm finding a line of rubs. In Kentucky, if it's getting sort of towards the later part of the hunt season,
yeah,
and I find a line of rubs, I'm thinking you're getting pretty close to his bedroom.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know about you, but been hunting in like Louisville or Kentucky or like Illinois or Kansas. Boy, the rubs out there, you just seems like they're just rubs everywhere.
Yeah.
They're big and there's rubs everywhere. Whereas down here in Alabama, you just don't see near as many. But anyway, yes. All right, let's take another Facebook. We got a caller on the phone. All right, here we go. I think we got a caller. All right, yeah, we do. All right, you got Steve Burklow and Mike Burklow. Who we got?
Jeff Ramsey.
Jeff, hey, man, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing great, and you?
All right. We're stepping in for Don tonight. He's on the way back from Houston. What's your question?
Well, I had a question, and it's been going on for as long as I can ever remember deer hunting. Usually within a week or two before the rut really strikes off good, our deer seem to disappear, like they go underground.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what a lot of people call the lockdown mode or whatever, whatever you may want to call it. And the question is, what are these deer doing? Are these does afraid to move because they're being pestered and hammered by these bucks? Or we're just not seeing the deer that we normally see up to that. You'll see a small buck or two cruising, and you'll see yearlings. And that's about the extent of it until our rut busts wide open.
Right. Hey, what the rut in Louisiana? That's typically, is it end of December, January in Louisiana, in your part?
That's correct. That's right. And I actually hunt in Southwest Mississippi in Jefferson County, and it's usually right around 2 or 3 days after Christmas into the first week or two of January.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Mike, you want to take this? Or?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with around that time of the year, the bucks are really starting to chase the does some, and actually they're trying to separate the yearlings from the does to bring the does in heat. So I think the does stay off green fields, and I think they stay bedded down as much as possible just because they're being pestered by these bucks, and they're just wanting to stay hidden from them basically and not get out in the open, because a buck will just basically try to run them down.
Right. You're exactly right when you said pester, and they'll drive them. They'll drive the fool out of them, just irritate the devil out of them until they're they're getting receptive to it. But yeah, exactly right. And man, I tell you what, it was never more pronounced than it was this year from where we were. I don't know about your hunting this year, but ours was just awful during December, and it typically is. It's a matter of fact, it's not even worth really going hunting for us in December. But yeah, I think you're right on that.
Right, our season up to that 2 weeks before Christmas, week and a half before Christmas, and it got really, really slow. A lot of our folks got a little disgusted.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens every year. We see this every year over and over again, and we have a question a lot of times: how do you hunt these deer that are in that mode? And we're not out in the Midwest where they have feeding and bedding areas.
Right.
West Mississippi is tons of cut over, so you can't see 20 yards in front of you. So everywhere we go is basically a bedding area.
Right. Well, and hanging tight in those beddings, like you said, I bow hunt the whole year, so getting in tight. Matter of fact, me and Mike were both talking about this same question right before the show started. And I like to get right in the middle of two bedding areas where they have to, if they do get up, maybe they'll ease around, just get out of their bed just a little bit, and then they're going to slip back down. A lot of times in those areas you can't see much, but at least, you try to make something out of nothing. It's tough. It really is tough.
It is.
Right.
But, yeah. All right, man. Hey, well, look, we appreciate you calling in, and we appreciate you using Top Secret if you do.
Yes, sir.
But, all right, man. Well, hey, we appreciate it. Have a good year. We'll Facebook us. Tell your friends about the show.
Will do. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, hey, guys. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
Bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
Fog Zero. You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
Ready? Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, we're back again. It's Thursday night here, February 26th. We're just about finished with hunting season all over the United States. I think, what time? Yeah, we're going to take a Facebook question. What we got, Mike?
Looks like Scott Caller from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right. It says, how long does a buck stay with a doe when she's receptive? Usually, when a doe's receptive, he'll stay with her up to about 72 hours. Usually that first 24 hours he's chasing with her and she's not wanting to have anything to do with it. And then in that mid time she's receptive to him. She's now in estrus and he'll breed her several times. And then after after getting close to the end of that 72 hours, that estrus scent is still with her, but she's out of estrus, so as long as that scent, he remains with her, but once that scent gone, then he's on to another doe. So,
Absolutely.
But yeah, so he's on a mission. So, we got time for another Facebook? All right, another Facebook, Mike.
Frank Galler from Kalamazoo, Missouri.
Let's see here. How does a high-pressure weather system affect whitetail? You want to take that, Mike?
Well, I tell you what, Steve, I love it when a high-pressure system is moving into the area.
Heck yeah.
And you got a low-pressure system, of course, in the area. You got rain, you got bad weather, and then you've got a sort of a corridor there. When the high-pressure system is moving in, you got the temperature dropping, the rain is stopping, and then you have a little bit of wind picking up, but the deer really start moving. They've been bedded down usually during that bad weather system, but when the temperature drops, you just get you can
almost feel it.
You can feel it. You really can.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've taken some good deer this year. In fact, I took one this year.
Tom, you got that? Yeah, there it is. There's the one Mike killed there at the end of January up at Portland, at our place up in Portland, Alabama. Good buck right there. Why don't you tell them how you killed it, Mike?
Well, I went in there sort of late one afternoon. I laid down a scent trail, covered myself up with a scent defense, and every time I use a scent, Steve.
Yeah, there's the scent defense.
Whenever I use those two scents together, I always like to use a grunt.
Yeah.
And I bet you I hadn't gone through the process of grunting maybe twice. And he was there and came walking out about 25 yards. Looking and sneaking, but that was the last time he ever did that.
So, what kind of, did you use Top Secret?
I used Top Secret Bad Boy Buck and the estrus.
Yeah,
Hot Mama.
the Hot Mama
and
estrus.
I sprayed myself down with scent defense.
All right,
And
use the phone.
I had a northeast wind coming across, and he came across the direction of my wind. The way the wind was going.
Guys, if you don't, I know we've talked about it a couple of times, but Scent Defense is our new product. Mike was instrumental in developing also. But Scent Defense is a 3-in-1. Scent Defense kills human body odor with silver and copper. Does a great job of killing your body odor. It repels just about any biting insect, mosquitoes, gnats, ticks is a big ticks, huge, black flies. Mosquitoes big down, their size of choppers down here in the south, of course. And deer love the scent. It's got like a honeysuckle lemon smell. Of course, we got it in a big bottle of field spray, laundry detergent, and a hair and body wash. So man, I'm excited about it. We had a good season with it this year. Took some good deer with it. But all right, Mike, looks like we got a phone caller.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Yep, there he is. All right, you got Steve Burklow and Mike Burklow. How you doing? Who we got?
Hey, good evening, guys. This is Ken from Southeast Alabama.
Hey, Ken. It said, are you from Headland, Alabama? Is that right?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, Ken, where is Headland? You said south?
Okay. Dothan is pretty much generally known in the southeast corner of Alabama. Dothan is approximately 15 miles from Florida.
Yeah.
And 15 miles from Georgia, maybe 20.
Our mother grew up in Cottondale, so I know right where Dothan is. You heard of Cottondale, Florida?
Cottondale's about 25 minutes from me.
Yeah, we've been there a lot of times, but so I know right where you're at then. All right. Well, hey, we're stepping in for Don tonight. He's on the way back from Houston tonight, so we'll try to answer your question as good as we can. But what's your question?
Don, he's probably been out there in Houston trying to hunt something.
Well, actually, we're trying to sell something tonight. He's out there doing a vendor show, and so he's on the way back as we speak. But so we're going to try to cover for him tonight.
Yeah,
we all have our crosses there. My question is this.
Yeah.
You're familiar with this area, so have you ever hunted in this area?
Yeah, actually, I've hunted over in Chipley when I was going to school.
Okay, so you're familiar with the seasonal climate that we have in October, and which is around the middle of October is when our archery season opens.
Right.
For years and years, I have, since they've come out, I have had very good luck with a thermocell. I'm curious, what is the benefit of this as opposed to that?
Well,
I'm not saying that to say that, I want to know what the benefit is.
Sure.
I'm trying to be objective.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Ken. Well, and the reason is Mike and I were both pharmacists, and we're both, of course, avid deer hunters, but Scent Defense is what you're talking about is specifically designed for deer hunters. And I'm a bow hunter. Mike does both, gun and bow, but and look, I've used the Thermacell for several years, and it is effective. It seems like to me you have to get it right where you want it to work. And to me, I'd like to put it right around my neck. Seems like that's where them suckers biting me the worst. But specifically this Scent Defense, the reason I like it is because it does everything. And I've used it already during bow season when the mosquitoes were out. You can spray it on you, and I like the smell so much that once I get to my stand and I'm burning up, and of course it's warm where we're at. Down here, I hunt in South Alabama as well. Man,
my neck of the woods.
Yeah, we're hunting over in Camden. It's just, of course, west of you, but yeah, I'm spraying it all over me. It smells like honeysuckle, so I keep spraying it. It makes you feel good. For one thing, you spray yourself down, plus it smells good, and the deer like the scent. Not to mention, it also is good for keeping the ticks off. Now, I'm not sure about Thermacell on the tick issue. I know Thermacell does work on the mosquitoes because I've used it, and it does. But this this kills your human body odor as well. It has silver and copper in it,
right.
And it makes copper. When you add copper to silver, it makes it like Don says, a souped-up wildcat, and it really is aggressive in killing your body odor. So once you do that, and it puts that honeysuckle smell on you, it keeps the insects. They'll fly around you, but they won't light on you, and it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat deal.
So this would potentially work as another layer to my Cineway stuff that I use.
Absolutely, because it's actually, we designed it to be an attractant. It is, once when we tested the product, of course, the deer will come to it just licking their nose. They like the smell, and of course, all the people that we've talked to that has done some field studies this year, and mostly around our area where we hunt, people that we know. One guy even said that he was hunting tripod, had it sprayed all over him, had a doe walk within how close?
3 feet.
Walk within 3 feet of him.
Yeah.
And for a South Alabama doe, that's crazy. That's just crazy.
Yeah, especially early season because it's typically still warm. It is unusual.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the good thing.
Usually have an 80-degree day down here.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, exactly. And the good
Especially
thing.
in October.
Yeah. And the good thing about this is it's DEET free,
Right.
permethrin free, so you don't have to worry about getting, DEET will actually dissolve camo dipping. If you have camo dipped guns, or it'll dissolve it.
Cancer carcinogen.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that till they were at a show a couple of weeks ago, but.
Well, I didn't know it till you just said it. So.
Yeah. I didn't either till about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I met a guy that actually does camo dipping for Browning and Remington, and he said it will flat dissolve it because he's had to redo them. But anyway, no, we'd love for you to try it. I think you'll like it. If you do, it does really good keeping the ticks, mosquitoes, and all that off, and it gives you an attractant as well. And it comes in a hair and body wash, a spray, and a laundry detergent. So we use it every day. Just 'cause I love to use it because I love the smell of it and it kills my human body odor as well. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, but yeah, so there's a little bit of differences with that and Thermacell. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I did learn a little bit about it. It's an interesting concept, that's for sure. I could definitely see potential to add that to my arsenal.
Well, give it a try and let me know what you think. Definitely call back into the show after you use it, this year. We got I don't know if you know, but we got BioShield is basically the same thing as Scent Defense, but BioShield doesn't have that human body odor, silver and copper in it. So that's basically geared for your turkey hunters, your fishermen and campers, anything outside. So, and we got it in a spray, in a hair and body wash, and a laundry as well. So we're about to start shipping a lot of that out to the dealers right now and distributors. But it smells basically the same way. But yeah, it's neat. It's a neat deal. So anyway, I hope that answered it. But yeah, if you use it, please tell us what you think about it.
Well, I'll give it a try when deer season opens back up in October. I don't shoot nothing with feathers.
Hey, I'm the same way. I'm just a diehard deer hunter. That's it.
But I do bow hunt for hogs, so maybe I'll get a chance.
Absolutely.
There you go. Yeah, you might need it then. But all right, well, look us up on the website. You can get us several different if you Google top secret deer scent, you're going to go to all the new products just, as well. Or if you look on Facebook or anything like that. But
well, I got you on my Facebook, so I'll watch what you guys do.
Well, man, we appreciate it, Ken. Thanks so much. And yeah, like I said, if you use it, give us a call back.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
All right, thanks, Ken.
Appreciate it, Ken.
All right, what we got? Mike, we got time for us, but Facebook. Here we go.
Sally Whitman from Dalton, Georgia.
All right, it says, how does wind direction affect deer movement from bedding to feeding? Do they use different trails to move from point A to point B? What you think, Mike?
Well, I'll hit the feeding part. I think a lot of times a big mature buck likes to enter a green field, and I think a lot of times they like to have the wind blowing over them to have the deer that's on the green field so he can announce his presence.
Yeah.
He likes for them to know that he's in the woods, and I think that's why a lot of times when you're sitting on a green field, if you do hunt green fields, some people just don't like to hunt green fields, but a lot of times they'll get those deer that are already out there they'll look in the woods and eat a little while, look in the woods, and then eventually that big boy will come on out. And I think what's happening is he's approaching a feeding area to let the deer know he may have already checked it, scent checked it to find out if there's any deer out there. And now he's letting them know that before he comes out there that he's announcing his presence.
Yeah, and he's arrived.
And
Yeah.
I think in the bedding area, I think it's the exact opposite. He's wanting to know what's in front of him before he gets to where he wants to lay
So
down.
he wants the wind in his face. Then he wants it to come that way. He knows. Yeah, that makes sense right there. And all right, yeah. All right, Tom, we got time. What we got? What, another Facebook? All right, yeah, another Facebook. All right, let's see. Here we go. What is the best way to hunt the lockdown phase? Well, it's funny we
Go
hadn't
kick 'em
actually.
up.
Yeah, you almost have to get out there and get your foot and just kick them up out of the bed. But we actually, I think somebody called in about that a while ago, so we talked about that kind of
did.
already. It's tough, especially down here. I don't, not real sure about like in Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, or any of the other Kentucky. I'm not sure how bad the lockdown phase is up there, but down here
tough,
it's
I think.
bad.
Yeah. I think you do. Now, I've talked to some people now. They know how to put it together and go in there and do a man drive sometimes.
Yeah,
And sometimes that's the only way to get a good mature buck to stand up and actually do any kind of longer distance moving. Now, I think they'll
Yeah.
get up and move 20 yards, 30 yards, and then go lay back down again.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's tough for bow hunters. Shoot them when you
That
have to
is.
drive them out like that. That's tough.
might as well just, bow hunters might as well just hang it up for a little while.
Yeah, by that or pick up a gun, huh? All right, let's see. We got another one. Is there a particular time of year that I should use your product? You want to take this one? Mike's
Is there a particular time of year?
that I should use your product. Well, let's talk
Well-
about BioShield first. Let's folks-
BioShield can be used actually 365 days a year, Steve, I think.
Yeah, I do too. This is
mean,
BioShield, especially
It doesn't
depending on
alarm the game, really.
no, especially depending on where you hunt. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't alarm them. It's going to be used to help, any kind of insects like you're talking about.
yeah,
If it's warm, you can use it. If it's cold, you can use it. But the scent defense, the shampoo, laundry detergent, and the body wash, it can be used really 365 days a year too, Steve.
absolutely.
I mean, you're going to kill the bacteria that causes a human odor, so you're going to want to use it anytime you're hunting, really.
Absolutely.
And-
Anytime you're deer hunting, yeah, absolutely going to use scent defense.
And we can't forget Fog Zero. I mean,
Yeah.
on those cold days,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're using any kind of optics,
Yeah.
the Fog Zero, you need to have that in your backpack.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you're watching for the
mean-
first time. I know we've talked about Fog Zero in the past, but Fog Zero is great. Everybody that hunts has either at least has binoculars, a scope, or a rangefinder. Well, this is great, guys. If you've never seen Fog Zero, it comes in a little pen like this, has fog-free solution right inside there. You paint it on your optic with this, looks like a magic marker. You paint it on your optic, take the cap off. You got a microfiber towel. You slide it up. You got a microfiber towel in the cap. Comes right out of the top of the cap. And right there, comes right out of the top. You wipe it off. Also got a buffing pad that you can clean your large smudges with. And shoot, look at this. You even got a brush to clean your,
Which is real important to get that dust off, because if you got a real nice scope,
yeah.
you want to get that dust off there before you clean it.
Yeah, you definitely you want to get the dust off with that brush before you put the fog-free solution on. Put the fog-free on, then wipe it down with your microfiber that won't harm your lens. I tell you what, it works great. Keeps your, I mean, look, if you're going to spend that burn near $1,000 on a scope, you want to keep it fog-free.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, hey, looks like we got a caller
Got a
coming in.
caller on the
All
phone.
right, what we got? Yep, there he is. Hey, you got Steve Burklow and Mike Burklow. Who we got?
Big Steve, Big Mike, Don Bell. How you doing, baby?
Lord have mercy. Don, man, we trying, buddy, we trying. A lot of big shoes to fill.
This is pretty neat. I'm sitting over here in Texas, and for the first time, I get to watch it live and hear guys calling in. Hey, it's a pretty neat format.
Yeah.
Guys are doing a good job.
Well, thank you.
We learn from the best, Don.
I heard that. Hey, listen, was it Ken that just called in from Dothan?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, hey, want to remind Ken, I think he was asking about, the differences between our BioShield and the heated. And the difference is that ours is a system. Theirs is, you guys hit it right on the nail. Theirs is, a thermocell is designed around mosquito. Of course,
Right.
It's a device. You got to carry it with you. You got to reload it when it runs out. You got to have the batteries. Ours is a system of which all hunters are already used to in the deer side of it, in that they take a bath, they wash their clothes, and then they have the topical spray to spray on the outside.
Right.
So ours is a system that totally eliminates the need of having to carry all that in there, and ours is good for 8 hours. No batteries included, no batteries needed.
Right. No butane. Right. No butane. Is it butane? Yeah, you have to keep the butane fillers and stuff. But yeah, and the ticks, I think.
Keep that to be able to heat it.
Right.
And of course, ours is, you wash your clothes, you take a bath, and I'm telling you guys, as you guys know, I've been gone for 2 weeks, and we're just taking the death for the response that we're getting out here. And spent a week up in Fort Worth at the NBS show, and just coming out of Houston, calling on one of our distributors, getting all of our products in place where these consumers like Ken can go to the local store and buy it.
Good.
Wonderful. Sounds great. Well, we sure ready to have you back here.
I think, Mike, you're doing a good job here now.
Thank you, Chief.
You guys, listen, when these guys are calling in, what they're looking for is just what you give them is knowledge and how-to stuff. And what makes it so valuable, guys, is that this is hunters talking to hunters.
That's right.
It is literally, you don't know what's being asked till they ask it, and it's neat to listen to the conversation between the give and take between all of you guys. And I hope that's what they get each week when they call in, and it's pretty neat for them to hear it cold from 2 hunters.
Yeah.
And
good old
it's
boy.
brothers night tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
You couldn't get anybody any prettier than Mike.
I tell you.
Oh man, tell you what, now that's a man that'll
That
do
was
it.
unnecessary, wasn't it, Mike?
He'll take a selfie, won't he?
Well, I'll get you back.
Now, you know what? We ought to put one of Mike's selfies up, shouldn't we?
Daggum, they should have put his selfie up there.
That's right. Well, look, guys, you guys are doing a good job, and everybody, let everybody know, BioShield, which is coming up, will be the Fog Zero, and BioShield is all out there now, and we're beginning to ship 3-1.
Yeah.
And so they'll start being able to find this around the country at their local dealer. And for any reason everybody's listening, if your local store does not have it, you can contact us, and we'll be more than happy to get that dealer to a distributor or get that dealer set up as a dealer to be able to carry the products BioShield and Fog Zero.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, all right, Big Don. Well, I guess we moving on now. Heck,
you guys are doing a great job, man.
we're trying. All right. Well, look, you be careful. Keep it on the road now.
Be good, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right,
Don.
Good talking to you, Don.
You bet, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, look, guys, we're going to a commercial break, then we'll be right back.
From Don Bell, the founder of Code Blue, comes Top Secret Reserve Doe Esters, the finest doe esters ever collected. Top Secret oxygen-free collection process is a complete generation above Code Blue. Our patent-pending collection process means no ammonia and no ammonia smell. At a limited quantity of 12,000 bottles, only 0.1% of hunters will be lucky enough to add Top Secret to their arsenal. Visit TopSecretDeerScent.com today and join the 0.1% club.
All right, we on? Yeah, Tom. Yeah. Hey guys, we're back. We just got off the phone with Big Don, and we got a phone call. I thought all right. Facebook.
We're live, man.
Oh, phone call. He's live. Yep. Live. Here we go. You got Steve Burklow, Mike Burklow. Who we got?
Hey man, it's Chris. Rolling.
Chris. Hey man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
All right. We stepping in for Don tonight. He's on the. I don't know if you just heard him. He's on the way back from Houston from a dealer show. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Alma, Georgia.
Right.
South Georgia.
South Georgia. All right. Well, shoot.
Is that pretty close to Tallahassee in that area?
Tallahassee's about 3 hours from me.
Oh, shit.
Okay. What are you east of there, or?
Be near Waycross, Georgia. You know whereabouts that is?
Oh yeah. All right. Well, you got some good deer hunting up there.
Yeah, a little bit. You just got it's hard hunting. You got to find them.
Yeah.
I heard that. Well, what's your question tonight?
My question is: there any benefits to dispersing the extra scent, in my hunting area the day before I hunt, like to charge it for the next day to hunt my spot?
Right. What do you think, Mike? It's funny. Mike was we hunted together this not long ago in Alabama, and go ahead. I can tell you want to answer
Chris,
this.
I'll be honest with you. I'll go through 3 bottles of that stuff in 2 days, and I'll dispense it, up and down my trail where I'm going to be hunting. I'll go by 4 or 5 stands, and I'll just put it out. If I find a scrape, I'm going to put it in there. And even if I don't hunt it, like you're talking about the day before, I'll put it on there for 3 or 4 days if I can be in that area, even if I'm not going to hunt until the wind is right.
Mm-hmm.
For me to be in there to hunt it, I still want to have the estrus scent like he's talking about. I still want to lay it down, so whenever I do come back in there, I'm going to use that bad boy buck or tarsal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come in there and I'm going to grunt. I love that combination.
Yeah.
Having the estrus out there, then coming back in there and grunting and having that tarsal.
Yeah.
I mean, I see a lot of deer.
And Chris, Mike, he uses that. You like the foam, right?
Yes, I like the foam the best.
Mike, he uses that foam, and like you said, with the deer bladder, which is new for this year, I've had people ask, do you want to go ahead and drip that before you? I'm not. With the deer bladder, I like to drip it when I get there and turn it off when I leave. But when I'm using the foam, you got so many applications in a bottle that I really like. Mike, I like to use it ahead of time, and to me, it seems like it just keeps the deer in the area, keeps them interested, keep them moving. So you're right.
And if you keep doing it during the day, eventually they're going to start checking it
during the day instead of just being at night.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But use that grunt and that buck, that bad boy buck. Whenever you go in there to sit down and hunt, you got the wind right for your stand.
Yeah. You use both when you're going in to hunt it. Use the bad boy buck foam and the estrus foam, and you got a buck chasing a doe.
That's right. And
man, you can't beat it.
There.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, Chris, I hope that answers the question. Have you tried Top Secret?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've tried Top Secret. I actually had tried it the day before I hunted, and kind of charged the spot up and put in the paw marks and drug a drag line, and then the very next day he come exactly where I had made the drag line, and he come straight in.
Good. Well, good. Good deal. Good deal.
It worked out perfect, just like that.
Well, fabulous. Well, hey, if you got that picture, send it to us. We'd love to put it on our Facebook and our trophy room. And but yeah, hey, we appreciate it.
Ask him if he used a grunt whenever he did that.
Do you use a grunt whenever you did that?
Yes, sir. What I like to do is get the can call, and usually I'll hit it about twice, and I'll follow it up behind with a grunt, real quick, and then that usually gets their attention pretty good. That's about the best combination of calling I use.
Right, well, that's perfect. That's perfect. You're doing it perfect. So I wouldn't change a thing, man.
Sometimes I like to add a roar, that buck roar to it after doing that.
Yeah,
because that just makes them even. It seems like it makes them matter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, man, hey, we appreciate it, and I don't know if you heard about scent defense, but you might give it a try this year. It's a pretty neat deal because I know you got dadgum mosquitoes the size of Cadillacs down here, just like we do in South Georgia, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they. I heard y'all talking about the thermocell earlier too. Sometimes they don't even work for some of these down here.
yeah, and look with the ticks, and they're becoming such a bad problem. It's effective against ticks. So it's just something to think about.
And you say that, we haven't been to a show or anything that we haven't talked to somebody that knew somebody that had been bit by a tick that hadn't suffered something bad from
Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
They're dangerous. It's like they've gotten on steroids or something like that, and they're more dangerous today than they used to be.
Right.
I definitely like to check out that spray. Definitely for the ticks, because a lot of times I do a lot of hunting off the ground, a lot of just walking, find me a spot, sit down, no blind, anything, just my ghillie suit on, and I do a lot of hunting like that. So
Wow.
I've had to pick a few ticks off of me.
Yeah.
Oh man, well that spray, guys, that's what he's talking about. Hey, that's perfect. Then the spray would be absolutely perfect. And I tell you, the hair and body wash is great, especially even after you hunt. If
Make
you
sure you get it off.
if just in case you got a tick on, if you'll wash down with that hair and body, man, it'll take care of the after the hunt. So, but even
as I'm washing laundry.
yeah, and the
Make sure you get it
laundry,
off your
of course,
clothes.
that laundry just puts that third line of defense out there. It's a pretty neat deal. We like to tout it as a system.
That's it. It's a system. It's a full spectrum.
Yeah.
You're covering the whole spectrum.
Right. But all right, man. Well, hey, look, Chris, we appreciate you calling in tonight. Man, send us those pictures.
All right, I will. I sure appreciate it.
All right, guys. Appreciate it, man.
See you, Chris.
All right. All right, we got a Facebook question. Here we go. Facebook. What we got here? Let's see. We got yeah.
I think that's her screen.
From Ustream, looks like. All right, it says is the whole area is shot when a deer busts you. Let's see, is the whole area shot? I guess
so
means
it's
is it
talking
messed
about-
up? Is the whole area messed
Yeah,
up?
is it when a deer busts you and blow at you, do I need to leave the area?
Well,
Sure feel like leaving, don't
yeah.
you?
Sometimes you sure feel like leaving, especially when it's a doe. And boy, she'll stay out there and she'll blow. Seems like forever, but to me, I think this is my opinion. I think the deer are so used to them deer blowing. I honestly, many times I've had deer blow, and then 5-10 minutes later, I've had deer walk out like nothing's ever happened.
That's right. I think 7 out of 10 times they're going to look at the deer blowing, then maybe they'll run off and then come back. But and every once in a while, mature buck, if a mature buck is close by and you're looking at the mature buck and a deer blows, yeah, sometimes he's going off, but I still think he'll eventually work his way back. It might be an hour later, it might be 2 hours later, it might be 15 minutes later, but I don't think you really need to get down and leave as long as the wind is good for you.
Yeah.
I still, as much precaution as I do using the scent defense, the scents and everything like that, I still like to hunt with the wind.
Sure, absolutely. Have the wind in your favor.
That's right.
But yeah, I like Mike. I certainly don't think it's worth getting down, moving. I think you'd actually hurt yourself worse by doing that, because once you're
scare the deer off.
Right, you're gonna scare the deer off, and you already set up. And because I really don't think it scares them bad enough to want to move. They're used to hearing that. I mean, they live in the woods, so they're used to hearing that, and they blow at other things too, coyotes, predators.
bobcats.
Yeah, so and it could just as easily be that. So, what we got? All right, look, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
All summer to get everything just right. Don't leave the rest of it to chance. Use the finest deer urine ever collected, and the only one in the market that is oxygen-free. From collection to bottle. Get ready. It's time to hunt.
Repel and kill the bugs that bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
All right, guys, we're back. We got a phone call, Mike. Here we go. Hello, hey, you got Steve Burklow, Mike Burklow. Who you got? Who we got?
Stephen Haley.
Stephen, hey, man, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport, Louisiana. All right. That's what old Waylon said, Shreveport. Hey, man, hey, we appreciate it. I'm sitting in for Don. I'm in Don's chair tonight trying to fill up shoes. He's got some big shoes to fill, but we're trying to answer the questions in Don's absence on the way back from Houston. But what's your question tonight?
Well, my question is, when using doe estrus, especially, you know, your product, because I think it's by far the best and the freshest out there. During the rut, is there a particular amount that you want to use as far as getting that doe estrus smell out there? Or do you want to limit yourself to just a little bit, or how much do I need to use?
Right. It's a good question, Steve. And Mike, I know Mike uses the absolute full out of it. I don't think you can use too much, honestly. And I ain't just saying that because the product, because selling the product. And it's nice because the foam, 8 ounces, is so nice to have such a bottle, and it goes a long way. But man, I use the heck out of it. I know Mike does. Foams it. I foam it about every third, fourth step. And I've never, and I use a lot. And I've never, and the thing I like about Top Secret, what I've noticed is with other scents I've noticed in the past, especially the does, that sometimes the other scent will spook the does, and they don't like it. But I've never had I have not had a doe yet that got spooked with Top Secret.
Right.
Right.
They don't necessarily come to it. And a doe, of course, that's not what we're trying to accomplish. But the bucks, I've had great success with the bucks hitting the trail and coming and following that trail. I mean, they're dead on it.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, and like I said to the caller a little while ago, I liked, some people like to, and it's legal now in Alabama, but a lot of people like to put out corn and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now whenever the peak of the rut gets here, Steve, I like to use that estrus and put it out every time I can think about it around my stands, because, those bucks are going to come in checking it, during the night or something while I'm not there. Right. And then whenever I go to my stand, when I got a favorable wind, I'm going to go back to that stand, bring in the estrus, but I'm going to follow with tarsal behind me, or hitting one then the other, and then I get in my stand and hit that grunt. I have seen. I mean, that's really been successful for me. I only killed one deer this year that I wanted to take, but I saw a lot of bucks by doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, using a lot of it at one time. I mean, I'll put it out around my stand, and then about every 5 minutes, I'll squirt some more. But now I'm going to hit with that buck urine or the tarsal, and I'm going to hit with that grunt too.
Yeah. I mean, we'll use a third to almost a half a bottle of the foam in a deer hunt, in an afternoon hunt, easy.
Well, the way I look at it,
I was going to about a half a bottle of doe estrus a day. I went to 2 local feed stores and bought all y'all's doe estrus they had, which was probably about 8 or 9 bottles, and just started drawing in bucks left and right that I had not seen ever on trail cameras, and they were just coming in all times of the day.
Well, man, that's great, and like you said, and we appreciate it. That the reason is the buck knows. That's saying that the deer is there instead of the deer was there, and it. I mean, again, being oxygen free makes it just makes all the difference. But well, man, I hope that helped cleared up, or just answered your question. Do you want to add?
I was going to say, well, I know you told some people that we work in a pharmacy, but I had a customer come in the pharmacy one day, and he actually has a deer farm that he raises deer and stuff, and he was telling me that they put hunters out and stuff outside the deer farm, but he said when those does are coming in estrus, he said the best place to be is to get close. They don't let them get but so close to where they're doing the deer farming. He said, but those bucks come in. I mean, they come.
I hear you.
So I started putting it out just daily. I said, well, I got an idea.
Putting it out daily. That's right.
If they'll do that, then let me try this.
That's right.
You ain't lying.
Well, Chris, hey, man, we appreciate it. And, man, hey, thanks for using Top Secret. And if you got any pictures, man, send them in to us. We'd love to put them on Facebook and put them on our page. And we appreciate you using the product.
I sure will. Thank y'all.
All right, man, thanks. We got another phone call. All right, here we go. We're ready. We got another one. All right. All right, hey, you got Steve Burklow, Mike Burklow. Who we got?
Hey guys,
Hey.
Rob Brandon.
Rob, what the
Oh,
heck,
big
man? What are you doing, boy?
Give you a shout out
I'm
tonight.
just sitting down here watching the dark.
I hear you.
Are you
I
sitting
hear
on the
you.
porch?
Close to it. I'm
Too close out. Too cold outside, isn't it?
You guys are looking good. Mike, you're looking just as pretty as can be.
You guys, Rob is our.
He's our neighbor.
Rob's our neighbor up in Portland Landing, up where our property is. Rob and his wife Jean have a real nice place that just
Beautiful
borders.
place.
Yep, just borders our property, and Rob's a big buck killer. And dadgum, it's got to be a nice buck before Rob will pull the trigger on that
I'll
sucker.
tell you what. Sometimes I wonder if he's actually telling the truth.
Yeah.
And then he'll put a video in to remove all doubt.
Yeah, and he like 3 weeks ago, or at the end of the season, he shows me a buck. He said, "Now don't shoot this buck. We need to let this buck grow." And Glenn looked at me and said, "I'm shooting that deer." Luckily, we never saw him.
Yeah, luckily. Hey, I saw him. I saw that buck the last evening of the season, so he made it. So.
Well, good. Oh, you did. Well, good.
Yeah,
Good.
he got through the gauntlet over there next door.
Yeah. I tell you what, we'll sling an arrow at him, Rob. No.
Shoot, I called because I was going to give you a little something that I use the Fog Zero for, and just kind of maybe help some of the listeners out.
Okay. Good, man.
If you're in a shooting house, and you know how sometimes, and you know I have to admit I like the comforts. And I'll turn that heater on, and the windows will start to fog up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that Fog Zero will work. You can just draw your little window out of that stuff and polish it off, and it'll keep the steam from happening on your windows on your shooting house.
Well, I'll be dang.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it works real good for that.
And Rob, he goes hunting up in Illinois, too, where it gets real cold.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. And,
There's no shame in sitting in a box up there, man.
No.
It gets old.
yeah. Hey, and we got, I don't know if the listeners out there, we've got Fog Zero and a Express. We got a spray bottle that'd be perfect for that. Comes in, is it a 2-ounce spray?
Yeah.
I think it's a 2-ounce spray bottle. That'd be great. But even like you said with that pen, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But that's a great idea. And
Oh, yeah, definitely works. That's been tested, field tested.
field tested and certified. That's right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, Big Rob, we appreciate you calling in, man.
You bet, man. You guys keep at it.
I'll see you tomorrow night, brother.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right, man. All right. Hey, we got another phone call.
That's
we
the
go.
kind of calls I like to have. Field tested calls.
Field tested. All right, you got Steve Burklow and Mike Burklow. Who we got?
This is Dan.
Dan, hey, man, where are you calling from?
I am calling from Oxford, Maine.
Holy, man, that's more than 100 miles from here, I think.
Ask him how cold it is right now.
Man, how cold is it up there? Too cold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's freezing here.
Man, we've gotten just about 4 or 5 hours north of us. There's 9 inches of snow, and that's just about unheard of down here in the south. But no, we're standing in for Don tonight. He's on the way back from Houston from a show. But so we'll try to answer your question. What's your question tonight?
Okay. Are there any advantages hunting in a ground blind rather than a tree stand during the rut?
During the rut, peak of the rut, I'm assuming, Mike.
I think so.
You think there's an advantage of being? I always think there's an advantage being in the tree myself.
Yeah. Well, the main thing I think about whenever you're in a ground blind versus a tree stand is just being able to see what you can cover whenever you're looking. As far as there being advantage hunting during the peak of the rut versus one over the other, I really don't think so.
Yeah.
Because I just like to be where I can see.
Right.
You know, like if you're in a hardwood bottom, like I think Maine's got a lot of hardwood bottom, they may have some pine plantation. I'm not familiar with the topography there, but usually you can see pretty good from a ground blind.
Can you see good from a ground blind in Maine there, where?
Yeah, I can. And we have a lot of pine trees here, too.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right. Well, you know, yeah, I mean, personal preference, I guess, too. I love being in a tree. For some reason, I just love to be up above them. especially bow hunting. It just, even if I was gun hunting, I guess. But heck, man, I'll tell you what, a lot of people love hunting out of a ground blind are real successful.
Yeah.
As long as, heck, I think as long as you're playing that wind right and shoot, yeah, I mean, you can, the movement, they can, you're right at their line of sight now when you're on the ground, so you might have to be a little more careful. But shoot, man, it's definitely effective. So, during the rut, I don't know if there's one advantage over the other. Honestly, though,
the only thing that might be is if you had something with a scent. Usually, if you're using a grunt and you're up in a tree, you can tend to get the sound out a little bit further. I think.
Yeah.
You can just cover more range with if you got a noise.
And you're not muffling it with that ground blind surrounded you. So if you're using a grunt, then yeah, that's right.
And you also have an advantage of, sometimes you have an advantage of seeing them ahead of time.
Right.
But then again, it's just, one or the other there. I know that's tough.
Right.
Good question.
Well, hey, man, have you tried Top Secret, Dan?
No, I haven't, not yet.
All right. Well, Top Secret, man, you ought to, where I tell you what, there's a lot of big bucks being killed with it. Of course, season's over, I'm sure, up there. It's just about over here in Florida. We got a couple more days, but man, I tell you, it's really effective. Mike killed a real nice buck. You show it up there, Tom. Y'all seen that? Yeah, there's
a good one too.
Yeah. My dad actually killed a real nice buck too. Just a few days after that, there it is on the screen. That buck was killed in Alabama. It's a real heavy. Was it 8 point?
It was a 9 point.
9 point, heavy 9 point. But no, man, you using that Top Secret, and especially peak of the rut. Man, I tell you, the bucks really respond to it. But man, hey, we appreciate you calling in tonight. I hope that answered your question.
It certainly did.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, we appreciate it, Dan. And, man, try to stay warm.
Try, yeah.
I'll try. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Dan. All right. Looks like we got time for a Facebook question. It says, what do you believe is the number one tactic to successfully killing a rutting buck?
Well, that's an easy question.
I know what Mike's going to say. Go ahead and say it.
Use that scent, use that estrus and that tarsal gland together when you got the peak of the rut, and then get up there and use that tending grunt.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I still like to use a combination. I really love to use that buck roar.
Yeah.
Because when you got the scent and the roar working together with you.
Well, yeah, that's probably the best combination. I tell you, that daggone Mike's good at it too.
You're just an intimidator.
Yeah.
And a buck that time of year just don't stand to be intimidated. They just don't.
Yeah, they sure don't like to be. That's for sure. Oh, baby.
They like to bow up.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to run you out of that area. They don't want somebody coming in. All right, we got time for another Facebook. What makes your scent products stand apart from the others? And hey, that's an easy question, guys. That's Top Secret. Simply, it's oxygen free from collection to bottle, which means, when it's collected, no oxygen, and it tells a deer that, and every deer has a gland at the top of its mouth that they can sense urines with, and this is Top Secret. Of course, you can see it's a clear yellow, and if we were to open that bottle, Mike, and set it down in a couple of days, probably 2 days, it's going to look like that. You can see the difference is dark, and that's going to say a deer was there as opposed to a deer is there. And I tell you what, it has all the difference. Yeah, they come in looking. Like we said, it doesn't really spook the does, which they're real skittish, especially in Alabama where we hunt, real skittish. I tell you what, Mike had great success with it. I had success with it this year. It's just a big difference. Oxygen free, it just makes all the difference in the world. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, it's a game changer. But all right, we got time for another one, Tom? Yep. All right, what are the telltale signs that the whitetail rut is starting, and typically how long does the rut last?
Well, I think he's talking about the peak of the rut starting.
I think so.
Well, I'd say the telltale sign that it's starting is whenever the does are getting receptive to the bucks. The does don't seem to be quite as intimidated by bucks when they see them. They'll still run off if they're not ready, but whenever you'll start seeing bucks get killed, that the necks are swollen, their glands are smelling, the hocks are smelling, and that's the way you can tell that the peak of the rut is near or happening. You'll start seeing scrapes. You'll start seeing, your primary scrapes in the roads, along fence lines. You start seeing more rub lines and stuff, and so and seeing that.
Right. And look, down here in the South, Alabama and Florida, and even around Mississippi, sometimes a rut. It's tough to say. It's tough to say when the rut's coming in and when it's going out because it's not as pronounced. But I'm gonna tell you now, you go hunting Illinois or Iowa or Kansas or Kentucky, man, there ain't no doubt when that rut's coming in. It's fierce, and it's a whole new ball game if you've never hunted up there. It's pretty neat, but yeah, and how long? I usually lasts. I tell you what, in Alabama where we hunt, it lasts a pretty good while.
Yeah, and I think, Steve, I think weather sometimes, whenever you have a bad, rainy, warm day, I think that sort of shuts it down for a little bit, and then maybe 3 days later, you get that blast of cold air that, like that guy said, I asked the question, the high pressure system moving in, and then the deer are up, bucks are up, they're checking their scrapes, they're, freshening their scrapes, they're rubbing the trees, and, I mean, they're getting things ready again. And so I think sometimes the weather sort of prolongs it a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah. We got one more. Here we go. Let's see. We got time to do one more. Why does it always seem like a buck skirts my tree and stand out of range from different directions? Oh, wait. It says, why does it always seem like a buck skirts my tree stand out of range from different directions? Is this by design or bad luck?
I think it could be some of both, Steve.
Yeah, I think so too. Dang suckers, they didn't get big.
Of course, it's going to be bad luck.
Yeah, it's bad luck any way you look at it if you didn't get a shot at them. But
it's bad luck.
It's bad luck for sure. That's a given. But I don't. Not necessarily by design most of the time. If you're up in a tree stand, as long as you're doing everything you can to kill your scent. Yeah. Look, I mean, obviously, if you're seeing that buck, he's just out of range. You're doing good to kill your scent, because if that's the case, he'll be gone.
And sometimes, he may be grunting or something in the woods. Some people like to rattle and stuff. And just like I like to turkey hunt. A lot of people that deer hunt turkey hunt too. And they can relate that, hey, you can sit there and have a gobbler gobbling, and you can see him. Sometimes you don't see him, but you can see him, and he's only going to get so close.
Right.
You could be doing everything right, and he's only going to get so close no matter what. So if you're calling to that deer, if you're rattling and you're grunting and stuff, it don't matter. If you've done everything right, he's still only going to get so close, and that would be by design.
Yeah. Hey, and that's what keeps
it's bad luck too.
Yeah, it's bad luck. That's what keeps us coming back, because there's that mystery. There's them suckers are smart, and hey, they get big and get trophies for a reason. That's how they have that sixth sense. Seems like it. They sit out there and just about laugh at you sometimes. Hey, look, I know I'm out of your bow range, so. But well, guys, hey, we appreciate you listening in tonight. We got Don coming back next week. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week, same time, 7 o'clock. Be right back here, and we appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.